I've grown to adore Sonic Frontiers. I got the game for my birthday and didn't think of it all that much. That was until the next day where I got really sick. It was snowing a lot outside, and all I could do was go on my Switch and experience the game, adoring it until the end. You can take that as a the end pun, but if not, that's your choice. My favorite part of the game and the part I was most excited to play were the cyberspace stages. I was unaware that they would just reuse level design for at least 3 quarters of my playthrough, but I would still come back to them. Heck, even the original stages can be quite fun. Can be. The Final Horizon update came out and it made me think that all the cyberspace stages were getting revamped, but it was only a select few. Honestly, I would have liked it if the entirety of cyberspace got revamped, but it's whatever. Can't believe I thought Rio was turning into a full island. Yes, I thought that when I watched it. So I thought, with 39 cyberspace stages, why don't I rank all of them from worst to best? Sure, some of these levels are really clean, and some are almost as bad as my mic. Let's get into it. By the way, this is my opinion, so you don't have to have the same opinion. Number 39, Cyberspace 4-9. Eggman Land had the crown of being the worst stage in a Sonic game that was the last stage. Here, however, there's nothing. I got nothing good to say about this stage. The board is far underused, it's slow which means you can't boost, and the platforming section in the middle is short and boring. And yet it's still the best part. No speed at all in this stage, and maybe not having every part of this level walled off during the board sections would have made it somewhat decent. Number 38, Cyberspace 3-5. A very slightly, and I mean a very slightly better 4-9. I hear people say 4-9 is better than this, but I enjoy the fact that you can actually die on this stage if you're not careful, and avoiding the drift is satisfying, but it's still just a curved line to the goal. Also, side note, people say the stage is Savannah Citadel too, but the layout is so different to me that I consider this an original stage, and that's harsh. Number 37, Cyberspace 1-6. I'm not very big on 1-6 because of the lack of an impact it left on me after playthroughs of it. I personally think that it's a weaker stage, and it's 2D. The stage should have stayed as a classic Sonic stage in Generations because it works better there. Number 36, Cyberspace 4-8. If this isn't proof that the game was rushed by the release date, then I don't know what is. It's cool that Ramos Island had 2 extra stages compared to the other islands, but both stages are the worst on said island. This stage is better because I can at least die, and admittedly the S-Rank did give me trouble, but once I found an alternate pathway near the beginning, I didn't think S-Ranking was as hard as I thought. Also, it's one of the shortest stages in the game, being only around 20 seconds. Number 35, Cyberspace 1-1. I think 1-1 is a good tutorial level. Of course, this is Windmill Isle Act 1 from Sonic Unleashed though, and I feel like it's better there because 2 reasons. One, it looked original and didn't look like Green Hill Zone Act a Million, but two, the game controls a bit better there too. Also, I don't really like how the enemies in the prison don't require destroying like the original, but that's a small nitpick. I still enjoy the stage though, and the S rank is one of the more stricter ones in my opinion. Also, the homing dash midway is pretty fun to both pull off and watch. Number 34, Cyberspace 2-4. This level is a very hold forward level. I wish they did more with this design because despite going straight the whole time, they could have done one thing to make it interesting, but the end is the best part. You can go on the rails to the side to skip half the level. I wish I was kidding when I said that. And the rest of the level after that is fine, I guess, but it's not a level I hold in high regards. It's just in the middle for me. Number 33, Cyberspace 3-4. Wow, Chaos Island got the low end of the deal here because 3-4 is just a rail grinding level. It's Windmill Isle 3, but I believe the last section is original? I could be wrong though. The level would be at the very bottom of the list if it weren't for that last section. It's pretty fun, but otherwise, mid-level. Number 32, Cyberspace 3-2. I honestly wasn't big on 3-2. It could have been because of all the swinging pulse at the start, or the boring platforms towards the end. No way I just described this level by saying that. Yep, swinging pulls, few cannons, and upwards boring platforming. I wouldn't hesitate to send this stage lower on my list. Number 31, Cyberspace 4-C. This stage is the only cyberspace stage in the new update that's somehow worse than the original. Don't get me wrong, it's only by a bit, but I can S-rank just by holding forward on my control stick. I even missed the entrance to a tunnel full of rocket boosts and I still S-rank by a good 4 seconds. This level is very boost to win. The only redeeming quality that makes it better than most stages below it is Hologram Tails. You'll actually need to push a button in order to beat him. Number 30, Cyberspace 4-5. The stage is alright, the airborne boosting is neat, and there are many different pathways to take. Unfortunately, they're pretty much all the same straight line. At least make the red ring path a tad harder than the normal one. After that is a bunch of automation that will lead to a couple jumps towards the goal, clocking it at around under 50 seconds. This makes this stage not very great, but it's not terrible either. Number 29, Cyberspace 1-4. Aside from the first half of the level having platforming and small branching paths, I wasn't big on this stage. After that, it's straight lines and nothing more or less. Just 50 seconds of straight line. And even the turning is ugh. I still enjoyed myself, but it might not be one I come back to all that much. Number 28, Cyberspace 2-1. This stage is basically a better 1-6. Pathways that you can take are massive, and I think this stage is better here than in Generations because of the better controls and the homing dashes. I enjoyed this stage, but unfortunately there's not much to say after that. It's a basic 2D Green Hill stage, but it's fun, so who cares. Number 27, Cyberspace 1-2. I hear so much praise for this stage, and I don't really get it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good stage, but not only is it way better and longer in Unleashed, but this level is pretty simple. People go crazy over the S rank, but once you get it down, it's really just another stage in the game. It's still enjoyable, and homing dashes in this level are a saving grace to the stage, but I feel like it could have been better. Number 26, Cyberspace 3-6. The controls make this stage much better than what it is. The homing dashes give me chuckles when they break the camera from its 2D perspective, and it's a fairly lengthy stage. So why is it lower on my list? Well, this is because I enjoy the later levels much more. This stage, despite having really good things in it, is just jumping from platform to platform for a minute and a half straight. I still enjoyed this one though. Number 25, Cyberspace 1-5. This was a stage that at first was kind of eh for me, but I played it more, and it's actually pretty good. Is it a downgrade from the original Generations? Absolutely. But is it still fun? Yes. And in some places, I even prefer this over Generations. The hard but satisfying shortcuts you can take if you think outside the box are really fun to pull off. It challenges your skills on a second or third playthrough. Therefore, this stage is higher than it was on my ranking. Number 24, Cyberspace 2-2. This stage is a platforming stage that's better here than in Unleashed simply because of the controls, spinning platforms, and actual non-cheatable gameplay. You can also take a few minor shortcuts in this stage if you wanted. My only complaint is the length. Now, stages in this game are pretty short, but 20 to 30 seconds? Really? It's still fun, but damn. Number 23, Cyberspace 2-7. Another classic Sonic stage recreated in a boost-styled level. This stage has dropped a little for me due to the same reasons as 1-6. The reason why it's a little higher is because of the speed you can get, especially from a very effective homing dash, and the air boost can really work in more vertical levels like these, which 1-6 lacked. For some reason, holding down boost may or may not get you past the crumbling floors at the end, but spam the boost button like I do, and you'll be fine. Number 22, Cyberspace 2-6. This level does deserve praise for how big it is and the amount of things you do in the level, that at least half of the level is on rails. And since there's no rail balancing like in Adventure 2, the game that held the original stage, it does drop this level down in my list just a tiny bit. I still had fun though, and the shortcuts are clean, but yeah, it's just the rails. Number 21, Cyberspace 3-7. This level is what 3-6 should have done. Sure, you can have a fair obstacle and platform challenge, or you can incorporate speed into it. We have a really fun homing dash at the beginning of the stage, which is luck if I land it, and the whole level after that is fun platforming, and it's done right in a minute and a half-ish long stage. This level being fun is indeed all reality. Number 20, Cyberspace 4-1. The stage is pretty fun. You're going through many different directions, but really it was the board section at the end that got everyone's attention. I wish this stage had more multiple paths and better level design, because it's near the end where the stage starts to lack. Otherwise, it's 3-7, but 3D. Number 19, Cyberspace 4-H. Another instance where the original level is better than the new version. Basically, it's 4-4, but everything that made it unique is gone and replaced with random janky floating boxes. I'll get more into the level when we get to talking about 4-4, but let's just say it's now run forward, jump once in a while, fun replaced with slow homing attack chains, and the level slowly becomes a dread, especially getting the animals. Number 18, Cyberspace 1-3. One of two original stages to be 2D, and it's great. Yes, it's short. Yes, it's completely 2D. Yes, it's a little basic, but also yes, I'm enjoying myself at this stage. And also, I love the song that plays in the background. Even though the alternate paths are usually on a rail, it's still a really good level, and I would love to see more levels like this in the future, maybe even for another Rush game. Number 17, Cyberspace 2-5. Not only does this level have a banger song, but this level is also beautiful. It starts with a short platforming section that doesn't overstay its welcome, and after that, it's smooth sailing. The homing dashes are really effective. That's fine because I get to actually play the level. Good fun. Number 16, Cyberspace 3-1. A pretty good stage with not much homing dash opportunities, so you get to actually play the stage, but that's alright because this stage is still fun. And the platforming is done right, especially with the air boots being able to save you a couple times. Great level. Number 15, Cyberspace 4-F. This is a textbook definition on how to make a bad level good. Just add more content. Make the player actually play the game. Give them a challenge with hologram tails that actually feels like a race. Sure, there's no secret goal or many alternate paths, but the new things in this level bump up the level to where it is now. Number 14, Cyberspace 4-B. A better 3-1 is the best words I can use. The level design is very open, and the extra paths can aid you as you race against hologram tails for the first time. Once you do find the right way though, the race is very easy. Still an amazing level, and did take time for me when I first played. Number 13, Cyberspace 4-3. 4-3 is weird, but it's the good weird. You go all over the place, homing dashes can be effective, regular shortcuts are supported, and it's a nearly 50-second long stage with branching paths and everything. Basically an adventure stage but frontiersified. Number 12, Cyberspace 4-D. A better 4-3 makes its way onto the list. It doesn't add much to the tables compared to 4-3. The extra pathways make an already amazing level even better. Though this is also now the shortest stage of the game thanks to the secret goal. Now because of the new pathways, the secret goal is actually in a secret spot, but you can spin dash off a ramp and go left. You'll reach the secret goal that way too. The level is still fun, and the S rank is decent. Number 11, Cyberspace 4-6. The paths in this stage do matter for your S rank, which I like already, but the level design is also super clean. You actually get quite a bit of speed, and I like that. Also, I love flying out of bounds at the end, it's by far my favorite glitch in the game and the reason it's bumped up so high on the list. Starting our top 10 is number 10, Cyberspace 2-3. Cyberspace 2-3 I swear is an amazing level. I don't care about the length this time around. It's fun to barrel through this level, and the speed you can get, especially from one very effective homing attack, is pretty crazy. I don't mind the cannons either. Yes, I did at first, but I got used to them, and I feel like it's a gimmick that stayed its welcome for just enough time. Decent S rank time too. Number 9, Cyberspace 4-E. What was possible in 1-5 is made even better in this stage. This is what 1-5 should have been, a multipath level with obstacles, secret ways to beat the level, and heck, even a challenge. This level straight up says, let's play hot potato, and you gotta get to the end before the timer runs out. There are clocks to grab along the way as well, making the stage very balanced and beautiful. Number 8, Cyberspace 4-A, a vast improvement over 1-4. It's the same level, but it's what I wanted from it. Not boring level design. The level design here can feel copy and pasted everywhere, but damn it, even the end is extended and it's really fun. Also, it's a great way to introduce what's new to the Final Horizon update, like the rocket boosts and extra collectibles. Number 7, Cyberspace 4-2. This stage is large. It's so satisfying to clear the stage and get that S rank by taking the right path because the paths actually matter for the S rank. Very great stage and definitely has something going for it, but I just wish it was a little longer, that's all. Number 6, Cyberspace 1-7. This stage is pretty cool. Basic, but cool. It's City Escape, but watered down. Fortunately, it's a great way to cap off Cyberspace for Kronos Island. Also, this stage just goes to show how broken the homing dash is in this game. Very broken. You could skip this stage if you wanted to. However, if you decide to actually play the stage, it's worth your time. Number 5. Cyberspace 4-G. Not much more to say other than it's 4-2 but with actual challenge. There's a new gimmick in this level too. I call it the gear gimmick. Basically, the faster you run, the more gears you shift. You start at a low speed and gain speed with time. It can be hard to keep the speed, however, so do a spin dash for max speed instantly. However, if you spin dash for too long, you'll get shot down for speeding. You don't die unless you lose all your rings. Of course, you can abuse the spin dash and just simply spam it for consistent speeds, but it's still a really great level. Number 4. Cyberspace 4-7. I don't know what it is about 4-7, but the level perfectly shows off multiple paths and shows the player new paths in the process. We're back to a minute of runtime, but my focus is glued in on finding shortcuts. The homing dash shortcuts you can find are very difficult to pull off, but fun nonetheless. The stage is definitely one that I would come back to. The bronze medal for Cyberspace stages go to Cyberspace 3-3. This stage is amazing. It took Sky Sanctuary from Generations and simply made it better. This is because the controls aren't a rat's ass anymore. You see, boost stages in Generations are more focused on speed, so controlling Sonic in the original was just kinda for me, which makes this version better. Also, very good level design. The silver medal for Cyberspace stages goes to Cyberspace 4-I. The anti-gravity gimmick in this stage is really good for big gap jumps, but not only that, it's reverse city escape, and it had extra level design at the beginning and end. I think that this stage is a way better end to Cyberspace than 4-9 is, and that won't get me to change my mind. The gold medal for Cyberspace stages goes to Cyberspace 4-4. Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite stage in the game. It's the longest and had an impact on me every time I beat it. The S rank is super easy, but trying to speedrun the level without dying is challenging. Also, this level is a press the button level, which we don't really see much of. Also, shortcuts are widely supported through boost jumps or homing dash. Everything I like from Sonic games in one stage, and that's why I love it so much. That, everyone, was my ranking of every cyberspace stage in Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is a really good game. I remember playing a ton of it, but instead of the open world, I would always go back to the cyberspace because it reminded me how much I actually really liked Sonic. Because the cyberspace was actually what made me like the game in the first place, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I still think that Sonic Frontiers is a good game, and I'm glad that cyberspace was included. There are a couple flops, but I think most levels in this game are actually really good, and especially the original levels, because the original levels have definitely improved over forces. So I might start doing reviews on Sonic games, which is the next segue. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's optional. You can think about it. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.